Morning, everyone. Welcome to join the Techathon 2021 presentations for final presentation for AI and Fintech firm. Here is the moderator of this meeting, and I'm Noel from Hong Kong Science Park. Today we are very honored to have 4 judges to join us. First of all, we have Mr. Kospi Fu from DBS. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Mr. Alice Tong from Hang Seng Bank.
Hello, everyone.
And Mr. Johnny Zheng from Hong Kong STP.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
And Mr. Spencer Yong from Hong Kong STP.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm sure everyone are ready for the presentation because we have a very tight schedule today. So without further elaborating the details, we would like to welcome our first team. But before, just a final reminder to all of you guys, when I call your teams, each of the teams we will call 3 times. And then if there is no response, then we regard you as withdraw of the presentation. So stay tuned for the announcement. And when I call you, then after you share your screen, you have 5 minutes for your presentations. And this is we will count the time sharply. And after 5 minutes, we will follow by 5-minute Q&A. Okay. And I'm sure everyone is ready. So let's welcome our first team. The first team is called Sigma, from which lead by Vanessa Chen. So welcome.
Good morning.
Please share your screen with us. Okay, we can see your screen. You can now start.
Before we start, can we first invite judges to scan our QR code to enter our prototype? Okay, so we may start now. Good morning, honorable judges. By 2022, millennials aging from 25 to 40 globally will be the most prominent wealth management segment, since they are now holding US 17 trillion of the world's private wealth, but they're often being overlooked and are under-engaged due to small individual asset size. And 76% of major banks actually say the ultra-high net worth clients are still their first priority, whereas 87% of millennials experience frustration when they research suitable financial products on their own. And in Hong Kong, the aggression of getting rich early without proper guidance resulted in disastrous chaos, from investing in crypto mining, vending machines, all the way down to high leverage of futures that fails investor suitability test. You may wonder, so how might we help young adults to tailor-make their wealth management products that best suits their unique risk appetite and life goals? We, Sigma, are here to solve the next generation's investment dilemma. Sigma is a mobile application that polarizes institutions and experts together, providing tailor-made financial education for millennial clients to identify the wealth management products that best suits their unique risk appetite and life goals. One distinct advantage of Sigma is that the idea may sound universal, but our pairing algorithm is hard to replicate. We back it up with a concrete proof of concept co-created by a team of professionals with solid experience in establishing digital infrastructure for the leading institutions. We can even push the boundaries further by streamlining a gamified user experience for all users, even without a registered account. All you need to do is first to finish a story quiz and get your unique character with distinct investment risk preference. And then a tailor-made mission-based learning plan will be provided by our filtering algorithm. Last but not least, the final killing feature, the real-time API dashboard for users to browse and understand the life goals and risk preference of their peers. and people across different age groups. And here we would like to highlight the function gamified investment appetite quiz. In the traditional banks, often complicated risk assessment tests and questionnaires will be carried out to identify the customer's risk appetite and their investment preference. With Sigma, we can greatly reduce the data collection time by 70% with interaction and situational-based game, and additional data could be collected, which reflects one's personality. For example, how many times did the user make an adjustment to the choices, or how fast did the users complete the questionnaire?
That's your question. Do you ever know how much time is
Sorry? At Sigma, we don't just serve millennials. We are the millennials, and we believe in what we sell. We provide adequate education for users to make wiser investment decisions. Unlike any of our past generations in history, we millennials wish to be engaged by smart games and robotic advisors that provide timely information driving meaningful decisions, not by salesperson in suits and ties. And today, many of us are facing a dilemma when living in the information explosion era. The content of the easy-to-use platforms is too generic, while the information of professional platforms is too hard to understand and leading to a low interactivity. While at Sigma, we believe bespoke financial products and knowledge should be easily understood and scalable through the digital means without any compromise. So is financial education business sustainable? If we look at just a small slice of the whole bread, in Hong Kong, only 970,000 of active young investors already account for a $3.3 billion of investable liquid assets. So if we provoke the remaining 2.5 million inactive investors and set our sight beyond the Greater Bay Area, it's going to be explosive. But what does this statistic mean to us? To some people, this means a promising market. But to young professionals like us, this illustrates an unalienable responsibility to educate and impact more lives financially. Since last year, we've begun our market consultation and see if our idea is worthy. And now's the time to declare that we are committed to this noble cause and support from STP is highly valued. Right now, allow me to bring my ACE team back to the virtual state for more questions. Thank you.
We will go to the Q&A section. So first of all, any questions from the panel members?
Yes, thanks so much. Very interesting. I have a quick question for you because government or even some banks have similar types of education softwares or the apps or during the market. What exactly platform are you going to build, and then for the differentiation, because there are so many competitors offering the similar types of solutions available in the market? What is the differentiation of your projects?
Thank you for your questions. And first, perhaps we can go to slide 34 for more information. And for Sigma, what we differentiate here, one main product of us is the appetite quiz. And for this allows us to assess about how the risk appetite in a gamified way. As for now, the traditional banks, those onboarding questionnaire are a bit hard or require some of the financial literacy for users to understand. With our gamified way, we allow users to understand it in a more layman term. And through our comparison with the industry case, we set our goals here by a different comparison with others.
Okay, understood. So you're targeting young adults, talking about the age group between 25 to 40, but your major offerings include gamification. Are you so sure this type of target groups are really keen on the gamification things regarding the education as well?
So I guess it's about education. Is it suitable for the millennials? For us, we have also done some of the research, and we can also refer to slide 35 for that, as we have interviewed and do some of the research for the groups millennials, and they believe that with a gamified way, they will be more attracted for learning. At the same time, they are more for, they would like to increase their financial literacy in the long term, but however, they don't really have a right planning and are more likely to prefer a spoon feeding culture. So with these two key features of millennials, we have come up with the idea of using a gamified way as well as a short mission-based video learning. And this could help them to increase their financial literacy through our mobile application in the long term.
Hi, this is Alice. Thank you for your presentation. I want to ask you, how do you sustain your user group? First of all, for example, the gamified risk assessment, it's very easily copied by your competitors once launching the market. And secondly, how do you sustain interest with your user group and your customers so that we can sustain the business?
Yeah, thank you. To sustain clients, actually have some of the features, which is our second feature, and we can refer to slide 22. For us, this is a gamified game, and what's special or differs from others is that we will have throughout the mission-based video game, we will have some of the achievement unlocked for them during their process. So they actually can track their own progress as well as compare with their peers. This allows them to have a commitment to our game or to our application and see their own improvement in the long term.
Yeah, we still have 1 minute time.
Oh, okay. Hi, it's Cosby from DBS. I noticed that you are kind of a champion of our hackathon before, but I want to ask you, for this solution, who are your customer actually? Are you selling this to a bank or any investment company to integrate with the app, or is a standalone app that you also provide investment product for people to buy?
For our starting position, we can also refer to slide 11. We're actually a front-end app incorporating with different financial institutions. As throughout our game, we can help to attract the millennials to try to have some of the investment and build up some of the investment knowledge at the very first stage. And then we can add as a front-end app of other financial institutions. And then the millennials can go on to their own investment journey.
How do you charge?
For us, as to charge, we have two main streams for charging. And first will be throughout our millennial clients, as we have some of the video structure, different video education. And we have three main types of education type, and they will be charged on a monthly base. Well, another charge will be through our data, as we believe that data is a valuable asset, especially in this kind of years. And this data are available to different financial institutions. We will have these two main charges for both the millennials clients as well as the financial institutions.
Okay, thank you. The time is up. Thank you for Sigmars. Yeah, here I'm afraid that we will need to pass to the second team. So the second team is Newbies. Okay. Hi, Chairman. Raju.
Hi, hello. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you share the screen with us?
Yes, sure. Just a second.
After you share screen and you first introduce your projects, then we will start the timer. 5-minute presentations.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. You may now start.
No, just a second. I just want to check if the audio works or not. Can you guys hear the audio?
No.
You cannot hear the audio?
No, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, never mind. Can you hear the audio now?
We can.
Okay, cool. Okay.
A little bit.
Okay,
Not very
cool.
You can share the audio in Zoom.
Yeah, when you share screen, you can click, right?
Yeah.
Share your computer sound.
You can share the computer sounds.
It's under start video.
Can you hear it now?
No, you should. Well, because of the time limitations,
Okay.
I think you may better
okay,
present in the other way. Okay.
okay, sure. Yep. Okay, you can start now.
Okay, thank you. You may now start.
So, good morning, everyone. We are Team Newbies. The project we're talking about today is FinBot, an intelligent voice assistant for bank customer service calls. Before going into the presentation, I want to talk to you about an incident. In September of 2020, I came back to Hong Kong from my home country after staying for 7 months. Unfortunately, I forgot my bank password and I've tried to update it. And the next thing I immediately did is call the bank customer care. And I'm not saying the bank name, you can guess it on, by looking at the screen. So what happened is that, as usual, when you call a customer care, first they ask us to something like press 1 for debit card services, press 2 for credit card services. So I did that. I narrowed down the issue and went to the final stage. And then after that, there is some audio which plays like this. The music keeps on playing for about 5 minutes. And then finally, I get to reach a customer care. By that time, my response was that I was very frustrated waiting for it. And sometimes even that on Saturdays or weekends, I don't get to reach the customer care at all. They say us that you can wait for more time or you can call back later. So the situation is that customer service calls are super long and or very frustrating. And sometimes on holidays and weekends, we know that the waiting times can go very high. And it's partly because there are not many representatives working on weekends as well. On the picture on the right hand side, you can see an average hold time for some of the banks in US. And sometimes it can go from 8 minutes to 20 minutes as well. And another problem is that usually the customer service representatives don't understand the language very proficiently in many situations. And if we are patient enough and we reach the final stage to reach the representative, even after reaching the representative, they ask us to verify our identity, ask our problem, again ask our problem, which makes us more frustrating. And I've reached out to some of my friends to see if this is the case with them as well. And the most popular response is that after every single call, either they have to try again or they end up very frustrated because of the very long hold time. So in online sources, it also says that around 63% of the respondents have replied saying that the customer calls are very frustrating and very long indeed. And especially if you look at this year, the waiting time has gone as long as 3 years in some of the situations. To put this into perspective, in 2013, it was around 60 seconds for an average call. And in 2018, it was 3 minutes and 45 seconds. And this year it went over 3 hours. If you look at why this time has been increasing year by year, it is partly because there are more and more users who are coming online and they are in reach of the banks, which means there are more customers for a particular bank, but the employees rate is not growing as high as the customers. So each call agent gets more number of calls and it in turn increases the call time for every customer call. The current solution that banks are implementing for this is chatbots. Chatbots are really good to solve a problem like this, but what if you don't have a smartphone? You can't communicate to a chatbot. What if you don't have an internet connection? You can't communicate to a chatbot. And chatbots, it is only mainly used by end customers because it needs some type of learning curve. You need to understand what it's doing and then you need to communicate with it. So chatbots are good, but not in every situation. And we all know that it is extremely convenient to just call the customer care and solve the issue. So with the vision, create value for the banks and their customers, we are developing our project FinBot, an intelligent voice assistant that can immediately understand customer regardless of their language, accent, and even poor phone connections. It is eventually an AI that can mimic your best agent. Now, this is a good project, but why is it so helpful? Because first thing, it improves customer satisfaction because the waiting time can be reduced to 0. And the second thing is it is extremely effective because it can mimic your best agent. In every call, it's the same person answering. It's as if the same person answering your call. And the third thing, it's extremely cost effective for the banks. Now, these are not the only advantages for the banks that we provide. Also provide other advantages. As I said, it is an AI that makes your best agent. And the second thing is, and the most important is that make calls more secure and identify spam. Now, what happens is that when you have a database of the calls, you can record people's voices and check through the database if there are any spam calls as well. And the third thing is that it is accessible to everyone who has just a phone and a signal, and they don't even need an internet connection to talk to this AI bot. And the fourth one is the one which we were very unique about is that you can also program the chatbot so that it can do some sales and upsell any loans or mortgages that you want to personalize, that are personalized to this particular customer. Now coming to the business model, it is a simple subscription-based business model where banks pay us per month for using this software. And looking at the market potential, it is exponentially growing with traditional banks moving digital, and we are seeing that more and more virtual banks are on.
Okay. So we may need to go to the Q&A sections. Okay, any question from Alice?
Hi, thank you. Can I just ask what is the customer experience? How does it work?
So how it works is when you call the customer care, the bot immediately answers asking you for what's the problem. So I can just share the prototype that we developed, which is
Good morning. I am Fitbit, an assistant to help you. May I know what to call you? Sharon. Welcome, Mr. Sharon. How can I help you? I actually forgot my bank account password, so I would like to update my... Okay. Did you check our website to change the password over there? We gave a detailed explanation on how to do it. Yes, I changed my password over there, and they gave me a reference number to show it to you. Oh, that is great. Can you tell me the reference number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Okay, can you check if this is the right number or not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Yes, absolutely right. That is great. I will change the records. And a confirmation email will be sent to you.
okay.
Thank you.
So it works like this: when you immediately call the customer care, and the bot immediately answers, asking you what's the issue, and it can immediately solve the problem.
Okay. Okay. Any question from Cosby? Okay. Any question from other panels?
Hi, I'm Spencer. Thanks for the presentations. And one question I would like to ask is about your NLP model. Is more technical part. So I would like to know how could you train up your NLP model? Where's your data come from? And how long if you have to train each language to go to a complete NLP model? How long does it take?
Okay, so that's a good question. Right now, our prototype is developed with rule-based, which is some basic comments it can understand by using OpenAI, and other particular comments we're using if statements to understand the customer statements. But then eventually our plan is that we can train, since banks have that data, they record every customer care call that they get. So we can train on that data. Our plan is to train on that data and develop a model which can understand most of the customer concerns. It's eventually like a chatbot, but in terms of voice for the customer calls.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. It's Cosby from DBS. So I think I'm thinking about for voice recognition is not something new in the market. So what's your competitiveness?
Yes. Yes. So voice recognition is not new, that is correct. But putting in this kind of application is something which is unique, and we have the first mover advantage. So if I look at the competition, when we interviewed our customers, they said that there is ease of use and the time taken are two main factors that they consider when in a customer care call or when solving their issues. So the traditional, right now banks are using chatbots. So some services like Wizard.ai, they come, but ease of use is, they're not very easy to use, and the time taken is less. But also one thing that banks are also trying out is to integrate with voice assistants like Google or Siri, so that customers can directly ask. But when it comes to ease of use and solving the problem, they're not very good. So that is where we come unique compared to them. And also another thing which I said is that proactive sales and upselling, which is banks can directly sell their upcoming mortgages or sell any insurances which are personalized to that customer in the call itself. So those are the unique things that we have when compared to the traditional solutions.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a last questions. I suppose a bank and financial institutions are among your primary target customers. Having said that, they have some similar existing solutions already deployed in the bank. How do you convince them to engage you as a trial or POC, that kind of things?
Sorry, I didn't get it
How
exactly.
do you convince the financial institutions or banks to be your customer?
Okay, that is a good question. So the way we planned out is that initially we want to integrate slowly by doing the identification in the waiting times. So what happens is that, as I said, even after reaching a representative, they have to do the verification as well of the customer. So what we want to do is that in phase one, we want to provide that service where we will identify the person and then do verification in this waiting time itself. And that's phase one. And after that, we want to put this as a service as well. So in this phase one, we aim to get the trust from the bank so that they can believe us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Libby's. Okay, here we come our third team. So let's welcome A Pilar from Agnes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can you see?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Let me open my camera first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see your space. Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, if you're ready, you can now start.
Yeah. We are able to redo the e-learning education app, and education has always been regarded as a time-consuming but inefficient industry. Think about all the time teachers need to mark the assignment, decide the curriculum, and implementing continuous assessment for the students. This preparation work requires so much time and effort, but still they don't even always meet the list of students. This administration work make them fail to devote their full potential to actual teaching and the lessons. True, if with the advanced technology of our modern world, this preparation work can be done, can be assisted by the AI. Here's our solution. April is a teaching assistant with artificial intelligence. She can design assignment, conduct continuous assessment, and even design examination paper with detailed solutions. For what used to be hours of work of teachers, they can be now done with a simple step on tab and phone and the phone. In the snap of fingers, the AI can mark thousands or even more papers or assignment, reducing 90% of time that teachers used to spend on those tasks and allow them to put their efforts in the actual teaching in classroom. Not only the APER can deal with the paperwork, but also assist teachers to analyze students, point out the area of the knowledge that students have not yet mastered, and assist teachers in designing the curriculum for the coming up year. Teachers can complete their work by just slightly adjust the lesson plan according to the AI calculation results. In the results, they can further reduce more than 15% of time that for the administration work. And now teachers can actually devote themselves into real teaching parts. Besides assisting teachers, APER can also train the students' independent problem-solving skill with the thought process training module of the AI. 80% of the students who have tasted APER agree that she can pinpoint the mistake they made and help them to be aware of the knowledge they have not yet mastered. We believe that the market demand for our product is also very important. During the design process, we have sent our prototype to around 100 teachers. All the functions we have decided based on the difficulty they met in the teaching. We have also collected opinions from different channels such as school, professional educators, and education association to ensure the particularity of APER. About the market, according to the research, the e-learning platform is predicted to increase from $20 billion to $37.5 billion per year in 2026. Till now, we have approximately 500 million primary school students in the world, and 350,000 in Hong Kong. We start our business in Hong Kong because we're familiar with the syllabus here. And Hong Kong is found to be the topmost education experience city. Of course, APER does not only handle the list of the Hong Kong local student only, but can also easily be applied to other districts and countries via the knowledge remapping system. And here is our business model. We decide to target on the B2B market first, and we'll gradually penetrating to the B2C market in the next 2 years. As mentioned, we will first focus in Hong Kong, and we will deliver our service to the world later on. Okay, let's move on. One of the biggest concerns of our investor, the profitability. If we charge according to this current plan, with 2% market share, we will have approximately 9 million Hong Kong turnover per year. If APER is promoted globally, then turnover can reach around $7.2 billion Hong Kong dollar. Last, let me introduce our team member. I have more than 10 years experience of working in education-related industry, so I'm crystal clear about the common mistake and the list of the students. I also have connections with numerous teachers and principals. One of our members, Samuel Chan, is experienced in programming. Who can probably transforming our idea into app efficiently. Besides, we also have a data analytics and who can help us to develop the AI, and also the education has been and also the UI and UX designer and a question database developer. The outbreak of COVID-19 has driven e-learning to be the trend of education. We allow devoted to create an e-learning education environment. If you are interested in contributing and investing in education, and most importantly, aim to alert the stressful situation of education, you're welcome to contact us. Thank you.
Okay, here comes for the Q&A sections. Any questions from the panels?
Hi, thanks for your presentation. It's Cosby from DBS. In the presentation, not so sure how your solution works. Can you explain a little bit? What's the experience a student or teacher would go through? Yeah, some sort of.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the questions. Teacher actually have to mark assignment by themselves, but with this app, they don't need to do that, and they also need to decide the continuous assessment, decide the exam and quiz paper.
Sorry. So
yeah.
Is it so you don't have a prototype, or you just have, this is just an idea, right?
We do have a prototype, but because this is an app, let me show you here, and here's the prototype, and the teacher can actually decide the for example the homework. They will decide the homework here, and then they will they can generate the exercise by themselves here. Just a few click and decide how many numbers of questions they laid. Is it a exam or quiz, and then send the request to the server.
Sorry, can you show me the AI part, where AI play a part in the app?
Oh, the AI part is still under developing in the app, so that part is not yet finished.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, this is Alice. Can I ask what is your go-to-market strategy? You were not very aggressive in terms of the school onboarding on year one, but it's still very difficult to onboard them. So how do you do that? How do you get them to buy into your product?
We probably need to contact different schools principal and show them how can the app works for their teachers and save their teachers time to from the administration work. And we still have we will also show them the how the students can actually experience a different learning experience in the existing app in the markets. The app won't give a direct solutions or explanation to the students. They won't give the feedback to the student immediately after they do the quiz or homework. And we still have the for process training system, which is under developing. Also, the patent is under application. So we will try to introduce this app to the principal.
Charlie, I have a quick question to you. You mentioned you have also talked to some teachers and also achieved some traction with schools. Can you elaborate a bit more about what tractions have you been built in this community?
Oh, okay. Here is some of the traction supplementary here. We actually send our prototype to the school. We invite some of the teachers to the have a trial on this version, and so you can see that they are very impressive with the Wicklet's question style of the students that the app can actually pinpoint for them. And also the weakest topic of the student, which is that they very concerned about this tool. And then also we have different kind of functions. They are very desired to have here. This is the feedback from them. The value of the paper, which is around 8 marks out of 10, and then the functions of paper actually quite similar. And the student analysis and the innovation acceptance.
Okay, understood. This is great enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think there is no more questions from the panel. Thank you for Ineso on sharing on the smart teaching assistance. Okay. Thank you so much for your presentations. Okay. Guess who is our next team? Can everyone get a guess? So our next team will be Recruitment Automated from Jovan. Jovan.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yes.
I hear
Let
you.
me share my screen.
Place. So can you share your deck with us?
Yeah, just give me some time.
You're sharing your screen, right?
Yeah, just one sec. Can you guys see my screen?
I can see your screen, but I cannot see your deck. Can you show your deck to me? Okay, it's great. So
okay, fantastic.
You may start now.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Jovan, and I'll be presenting on RoboHire. What is RoboHire? RoboHire is essentially automated recruitment nodes. It's a platform that enables recruiters and employers or hiring companies to choose the best candidate in a timely manner and with minimal effort. RoboHire utilizes the power of AI technology to introduce automation, simplification, and data-driven process within the recruitment cycle. Recruiters on a day-to-day basis are dealt with large volume of candidates. They conduct a lot of increased volume of interviews, and they receive quite a bit of resumes. After that, they summarize the interviews, they summarize the resumes, and most of them store them in Google spreadsheets or applicant tracking system. After that, they manually search essentially their system or spreadsheets. They pick up candidates and send those to the hiring companies. Therefore, there's no time for the recruiters to build their talent pool, to proactively interact with the talent pool, because the entire process is very administrative. RoboHire will introduce automation to remove the administration, which is painful in the recruitment process. RoboHire will introduce simplification, will remove the time-consuming aspect of the recruitment process, and will make the hiring faster and more convenient for the recruiter, enabling them to select the right candidate at the right time. Moreover, lastly, RoboHire will introduce a data-driven analytical automated approach that will remove the bias from the recruiters and introduce objectivity into the recruitment selection process. Therefore, best fit candidates will not be overlooked in the process. With that being said, though, RoboHire not only benefits the recruitment company or the hiring company, there's also candidates matched to the job posting will result in lower employee turnover, happier employees. Happier employees means higher engagement and automatics available. Sorry? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So please go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. So what is RoboHire? Simply speaking, there are 3 steps in the process. The first step will be voice data coming from recruitment companies in 2 aspects, recorded interview or a live interview. The second step will be conversion of the voice data to a text. And lastly, the most important step is fully automated analysis and profile. They will be sent to the recruiter company, analytical profile per candidate per job posting. The recruitment industry by 2023 will be worth more than $1 trillion. Introduction of AI-based recruitment systems will have an opportunity to take away from that market share. Our RoboHire model doesn't have really competitors in the market because none of them have done automation of the interview process and automation of the interview analytical process. RoboHire has a revenue subscription model, monthly, annual, transaction based. It's easily customizable from a recruiter perspective and also offers various service offerings such as bronze, silver, offer for cost of ownership because it's a SaaS product and improves the recruiter or the hiring company speed to value. Our team has, Irina and I have over 30 years experience across the globe from US, Canada to Thailand. We have a broad HR experience almost in any aspect of the HR vertical, and we have extensive analytical experience. Lastly, I want to talk about the rollout perspective. This quarter, we'll start developing a desktop version. Essentially, we're starting a SaaS, software as a service pilot, focusing on small recruitment companies. We have 1 confirmed client from Toronto, Canada. We're working acquiring clients from Australia at the moment and Asia. In Q2, we'll customize our SaaS web offering based on the pilot. In Q3 and Q4, we'll focus on medium to large companies. We'll offer customized options and also customized pricing tiers. In Q1 of next year, we'll offer a mobile app. And lastly, we'll offer native connectors that will allow us to connect to various HR systems. At this point, I want to stop my presentation and open the floor for questions. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Jovan. And here comes to the Q&A sections from the panels. Anyone would like to kickstart Q&A?
Yes, I have a quick question. You know, the HR and recruitment industry have similar types of solutions already. How do you convince them to deploy your solutions to the HR agencies?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are 2-tier approach. First of all, I have the connection, and the team has a connection throughout the industry, whether it be small, medium, or large recruiters across the globe. Again, we'll be focusing on Asian market, so APAC region and North American market. With that being said, as I mentioned before, none of the competitors have the interview automation process. Most of them offer job matching, resume review automation processes, but none of them take a video recording or a recorded interview or a live interview feed and analyze that piece automatically. None of them offer that, whether it be a boutique scale SaaS operation or large scale embedded app in various softwares. So we are, I believe, first in the market to offer that service to enable essentially companies to load their interviews or to conduct their interviews online, and for them to basically receive in a matter of minutes a summary of their candidate profile and how that match for the job description they're targeting.
Okay, thank you.
I hope that answers your question.
Hi, this is Spencer from Science Park. I would like to know more about your current product development. So what is the status right now, and whether your team has your own R&D person, or you are outsourcing your technology to the IT firm to complete the AI model?
Fantastic question. Thank you for that so much. So essentially, we started with the pilot. The pilot is based on Google API services. We're utilizing that to build essentially the NLP section of the model. With that being said, though, most of the work is done by Media Arena. So it's in-house. We don't have any external dependencies for R&D. With that being said, though, the most important thing, as you mentioned, in any modeling is the input data. We have signed up NDA for a client in Toronto, Canada. And because of the NDA, I can't really mention the recruiter company. We're working on 2 to 3 clients to be implemented essentially in our pilot program starting this quarter. And I will get enough information to build our model in-house, so there's no dependency on any third parties. With that being said, though, as well, we do have an advisor that will be given to us from HKBU as well, a professor that I can't really mention the name now. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Jovan. Yeah, thanks for your presentation. It's Cosby from DBS. So I would like to ask about your model. I mean, the analytics model. Is it easy to customize for different industry, because different industry has different needs? And how do you cope with the? I mean, how do you deploy your solution to different types of clients? Is it just one model?
That's a great question. So the application right now that we're running through the trial, our first client, what I can tell you or I can disclose, is based on the developer, on the IT industry. So they're hiring for developers, they're hiring for a data scientist, so IT personnel. But with that being said, though, we're targeting clients in the pilot, they're coming from different industries. We'll be working with different NLP models, but we'll combine them as a final solution. The output of that will be basically a web interface, a kind of a SaaS product, where the clients can load, essentially to begin with, from the pilot to load their interviews, whether it be video, audio, live, or pre-recorded. I'm going to stop there and just want to make sure I'm answering your question.
Thank you. Yes, sure. Thanks.
Hi, this is Alice from Hang Seng Bank. Can I ask how do you measure the success of your model? How do you know that you have matched the right or found the right candidate?
Yeah, so that's an excellent question. The first step of our analytical process is working with our clients in the pilot program that we're starting right now. For them to customize, basically give us a standardized questions they're asking for that job description. Those standardized questions or outlines for the job description will be loaded in the model, and there will be a match between a candidate summary. So I'm going to go back here. It's a multi-step process. So for example, the sentiment analysis will evaluate how the candidate matches and they're positive on an NPS score back to the job description based on the, let's say, 10 standardized questions. We'll analyze the tone analysis. Is the candidate confident in answering the question, or the candidate, he or she takes more time to answer those questions? And lastly, there will be overall profile summary, analyzing summarizing their resume, their responses to the standardized questions, and how they fit along the entire candidate universe to that specific job position or job requisition. I hope that answers your question.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, so thank you for Jovan on the global hire sharing, and the time's up, so I'm afraid we need to invite the next team. The next team is Justin from Lady Tech.
Hi. So wait a second.
Hi.
Hi.
So, hi, I can hear you. I see your face. Can you share your screen with us?
Yep. So could you guys see my screen right now?
Yes, we can see your screen. So if you're ready, you may now start. You have 5 minutes for presentations.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. So the trend of investing in index fund has been rocketing in recent years, and it has been an enormous impact on our investment style. Yet we have notified there are three downsides in the market. Firstly, the high expense ratio among major index funds has made it less appealing. Secondly, the facade fund composition lacks flexibility as it remains unchanged for years. Thirdly, the old-fashioned and non-interactive user interface of the index funds couldn't satisfy with young investors. With that being said, we decided to launch Rookie Index Fund to cater the needs of the current investors. It is a SaaS solution to trading platforms which allows users to create and invest in index funds by having price fee management fee, flexible stock composition, and a user-friendly UI. To trade the funds, the user could trade either manually or by following the AI recommendations. Our product target two types of audience, millennials with high financial literacy and those with low financial literacy. To attract millennials with high financial literacy, we hope to use Hong Kong as the pilot market and horizontally expand our market reach to the APAC region. In the illustration on the left side, Keith has high financial literacy as he has gained exposure in the stock market as a regular basis, yet he couldn't find an index fund that meets the needs of himself. In this case, Rookie Index Fund enables people like Keith who knows financial products well, but couldn't find their optimal products to create funds that cater to their own needs and allow them to share their index funds to their social circle to create value for the second kind of audience, millennials with low financial literacy. In the illustration on the right side, Jess has been mainly using her income to pay for her tuition, and she has limited exposure to the stock market. For millennials who don't have too much exposure to the financial market and has a low risk tolerance, Rookie Index Funds allows them to invest in high return and trendy index funds in a safe manner. Apart from the user side, our product also focuses on social community impact. Rookie Index Fund allows users to conduct impact investment and eco investment. For impact investment, we could rank index funds that include a big portion of industries that are impactful to the society, such as education or healthcare, to a higher rank to raise users' awareness. For eco investment, we could also further promote index funds with a large ratio of clean industry, such as renewable energy. In our product, the user journey will be detailed in 4 parts. So firstly, they could create their own index funds by customizing their stock portfolio. The users could search the stock and add them by the stock code. And after creating their unique index fund, they could fill the basic information of each stock, such as the PE ratio and EPS. By searching for a particular stock, you could also fill other index funds that include the stock that you are searching for. In our UI example, you can see that the stock Tesla is included in index fund named as technology and electric cars. 4 basic elements, including fund overview, statistics, portfolio composition, and volatility will also be included. In addition, we also include a news function in which we will podcast the stock's news for the users in order to let them to gain a better understanding about the index fund itself. Our AI algorithm will also recommend other index funds that align with the user's investment style, and the users could also see how their social circle invests by seeing the trending index funds. Our product accepts different payment methods and currencies in execution. In terms of the commercial feasibility, we have detailed our product roadmap in a 1-year basis. We aim to launch our test marketing in the 4th quarter in 2020 and aspire to launch the final version in the 1st quarter in 2021. Our business model comprises of 4 parts, and 2 of our biggest revenue drivers would be the monthly subscription fee paid by the trading platforms and the API selling fee paid by the trading platforms, who wish to fully integrate our service. We also earned revenue by charging a setup fee and module-based payment. Our go-to-market strategy is to launch our product on popular trading platforms among millennials, such as Futo Group. We hope to offer a free service to test the market sentiment of our product and optimize it by gaining a large number of user feedback. Since Rookie Index Fund is a SaaS solution instead of a trading platform, there are no direct competitors in presence. Yet, we positioned ourselves as a very flexible and high risk-adjusted return product among other products. So our team comprises of finance, computer science, and law students, in which 2 of our members have period experience in Morgan Stanley, which they could utilize their experience in the execution of our product. With the flexibility and convenience mentioned as above, we believe the Rookie Index Fund is a game-changing solution for the market.
Hi, Justin, the time is up. I'm very
Okay.
ready to go to the Q&A sections.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
The panel?
I have a quick questions to you. I suppose you are targeting some B2B and B2C as primary target. Are you targeting some individual investors besides fund managers, securities firms or brokers?
You mean like where will we launch this product, or who are we aspiring the audience to use? If you are talking about the users,
Primary target.
okay, so if you're talking about the target users, we aim to target with millennials. So as I have mentioned earlier, so the current big major index funds such as Vanguard, VOO, they are like somehow kind of old-fashioned because they have a fixed stock composition. So by providing a very flexible stock composition, we hope to target to these millennials who want to really shape their financial investment style in this way. And and we are selling our service to the trading platforms like Futobu, so they can integrate our service as part of their app. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you.
So where do you get your database or source as a training, or suppose some historical or stock trading data that's being incorporated into your system? Where did you find this data?
We will be we are currently thinking about in different ways, but like the most cost efficient way will be about, since we are launching with different stock platforms, right? So once we sell our own API, or we rent our own API to Futobu, we hope that we could integrate with their stock tracking API, so we don't need to like additionally develop more technology inside that. And by gaining the and by having this go-to-market strategy, we hope to gain a very large number of data of user feedbacks. As you know, Futobu is very popular in Hong Kong, so we hope that by launching in these platforms, we could receive a large amount of user feedbacks in order for us to keep optimize our products and use the data to train our AI algorithm. Yeah.
Hi, Justin. This is Alice. I'm sorry, I'm not sure I get what your product or who are you very clearly. Are you a broker? Are you a fund manager? Or are you a market info supplier?
So you can deem us as a API service provider, and we are not a broker, because like the thing is that we hope to develop an index fund that is very flexible. We hope to develop the surface of the index fund, which is very flexible and
so let me interrupt you there. What do you mean by service of an index fund? Are you creating your own fund?
We hope to we provide API for trading platforms or brokers such as Futobu to allow them to create their own index funds. So since like in Futobu you can only trade funds, or you can only trade ETFs. So you couldn't really.
Provider? Are you a market information provider to fund managers?
No, we are not a market information provider. Like we provide our service to these Futobu to integrate our own service. Yeah. So.
So basically, we are selling our SaaS to these trading platforms and enable users on that trading platform to create their own index fund. So you can understand us as a software developer or API provider. We do not offer any kind of investment index funds, or we are not acting as a broker. So basically, we are just providing the API and the service and enable people to create their own fund.
But what is the service that your API is providing?
So basically, it is to enable users like me and you to create our own index fund. Basically, we can put different stocks into the fund, the index that we are creating, and then people can trade on the performance of the index that we have created. For example, if I have 100% Tesla yesterday, then my index fund will be up 8%. And while the most actively traded ETF might only be yielding a result of 2 to 3% every day, that would mean that my index fund actually outperformed the market. And if people buy my index fund, then they will yield a higher profit than what they invest in traditional ETFs.
Okay, thank you, Justin, for your sharing on your products. So here is the end of your presentations, and we would like to welcome our next team. So we welcome Louis Chen from Data Louder. Louis, are you here with us?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello.
I see your face. Hello. So share your screen with us.
Could you see my face and also hear my voice? My
See
voice?
your face. Hello, and can
See
you share
my,
your screen?
oh, share, okay, sorry.
Yes, please.
Screen.
Okay, I see your deck.
Okay right now? Okay.
Okay, when you're ready, share with us your presentation. Share with just your idea. You have 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me start. Hello, everyone. My name is Louis Chen. Today, I'm going to present you a concept of finding the best trader you should follow. And also our ultimate goal, the next Bloomberg in China. We are Data Louder. Data Louder is a startup project. I launched the website datalouder.com, which gained 3,000 members. They also created 1.2 million Hong Kong dollar in our first year. Slide 2. You may see the first chart in slide 2, and this is describing our growth of free users, and also the lower lines is our paid users. You can see we have very steady growth in over last year. And also the second chart describing our conversion rate. What is conversion rate is how many percent of free user turned to paid user. So to further expand our business, first we need to have more free user, and second, we turn those free user into paid user. Okay, this is what the paid user pay for. Our product is a big data analytics platform. We're providing a code-free backtest system. So you may see the picture here. User could choose the signal and backtest how much win rate, how much return could a signal could provide. And also they could find the market sentiment index to see whether the stock is overbuying or overselling. So basically, they use our platform to improve their return. Okay, and this is our business model. The first circle and the last circle is the business we are running now. Okay, so we just mentioned we're providing an analytics platform, but just for pay user. So what does the free user get? So we're providing an online video. What is online video? So that is like a short, comprehensive YouTube video. And also we're doing live casts every day to sharing our trading views, trading idea, and the market view. The coming project we are going to do is influencer rating system. So as I mentioned at the opening, we are going to find the best trader we want to follow. So we track down every influencers their point of view to the market and compare them on our system, and so a user could see how much win rate is those influencer. Just like you could find the cheapest flight ticket on Skyscanner, or the best restaurant on OpenRice. So basically, you could find the best trader on Data Louder. This project requires a lot of resources and budget to promote. Oh, sorry. Okay. You may see the blue words. Those are the competitors or the service we having in this market. So you investment costs, the market is offering or the competitors is offering, but we are offering the comparisons of these investment costs, and also some trading software. They user need to pay for a charge to use this streaming data, but we could provide the streaming data for free. Okay. Well, yeah, what we are going to do in this year is to further expand our business, draw more free user. As I mentioned, more free user, more paid user, more revenue. So we not only draw the free user from our followers, but also from the other influence followers. Hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Louis. And here comes to the Q&A sections. Any questions from the panel?
Can I just confirm you're targeting the China market?
Yeah, we are talking. But we could since the influence rating system. So if you buy US stock, you will find the influence right. But if you find the influence by their win rate and their return, you could find not only Chinese trader, but also the US market in the trader in US market. So we could expand our business to other countries as well.
For now, your customer, who is your customer group? So are they based in China?
Based in Hong Kong.
Okay. How do you compete with the already very crowded data market info and analytics companies in Hong Kong?
We are not competing with them. We are doing the comparison. We are comparing who is the best trader now, who is the influencer we should follow. So but also we are one of them. We are also we influencer. I have a page having about around 10,000 followers. Yeah, 10,000 followers. No, 10,000 followers. Yes, yeah.
So if you would name your biggest competitor in the market, are you more towards AA Stock, Futu, or Miutao, or who are your competitors?
I think we are the first one to doing things like that, but I feel I think the competitor maybe Futu because they also doing things like finding famous trader in their group, but only in their group, only in their their user, among their user. But we are finding the best influencer all over the world.
Oh, hi. It's Cosby from DBS.
Ito, our committee.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Cosby from DBS. Since I saw that you have all the data saying that you are actually growing quite fast, why do you joining this Techathon?
Why?
You have
we
grow really.
Sorry, I skipped very fast. Yeah, this is our business model. In future, we don't have a few business models like we only having the first circle and the last circle, and we are going to put more resources on doing things like influence rating system, free data streaming, and we pitch our business model to other countries, and they require this. All those requires a lot of resources and budget. Yeah.
Last question, sir. You have a very broad ambitions for being the next Bloomberg in China. Could you give me the 3 key attributes very briefly about how to get it done? Why you and your team can realize your dream to be the next Bloomberg in China? Just 3 attributes.
Like I'm an influencer, and I could see a trend of everyone is learning things on YouTube and from some influencers. So I see this trend, and I think this trend will be very containing a lot of potential, and we could do something like comparison. So we could be the largest platform provide the information of finance information, but not the information of finance only, but the information of all those how those influencers performed. I think the future world will be all many influencers talking stock every day.
Okay.
And how to achieve what
So thank you for your presentation, and you provide a lot of convincing data that indicate that your business and your core product is like a productivity
if you want to further know about us, you could find us Techathon.com and also my page.
Yeah. One quick question I would like to ask is, currently people use Patreon, WeChat group, YouTube to share the information how could they trade the stock. So why would you like to expand your platform, add new features to substitute those functional features instead of focus your resources to do your analytic platform?
Analytics platform, since many traders or many companies is providing analytics platform, but I think if we want to expand our business to next level to like achieve our goal, the next Bloomberg in China, we have to do not only to compete with them, but to help them, to help all the competitor to be also help the user to also help the user to find the things they want to follow.
You would like to extend the feature. The main reason is you would like to create a lot of traffic that lead to your analytic platform, right? So that's why you want to do the extension.
The analytics platform is one of our weapon to gain revenues, so to maintain a long-term sustainable growth. Also, we do want to have an as a data provider or a transaction commission to draw more revenue if we large enough and contain having much more users.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Louis. Thank you for your presentations. And okay, before moving forward, so we may take a break for about 5 minutes because it has been an hour and our panels are a little bit need to take a rest. So we will be back in around 3 minutes time. Thank you. Stay tuned. Hi everyone. Okay, we're back to the presentation from you guys. So we are ready for the next presentation. So we would like to invite the next presentation from Spiral, which should be conducted by Mr. Wen Kong Learn.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I can see your face. So can you share your screen with us?
Sure.
Okay, I can see your screen. So if you're ready, please share your presentation with us. You have 5 minutes time.
Yeah, okay. So being a road user, I'm sure you have encountered traffic accidents in different occasions. Among these accidents, almost 40% is vehicle-vehicles accidents, meaning that there is neither casualties nor damage of public properties. When this happens, drivers often find it very confusing to protect their own rights. Some draw out a written settlement agreements, which might cause backfires on them, and they may lose their legal protection if the agreement is not written properly. Some claim their car insurance with invalid evidence, for instance, photo with overexposures and low resolution. But no one really wants to be a professional in car crashing, right? So we are here to give you an instant guide after traffic accidents. After a car crash mirror is in place. Users need to take picture accordingly. Our AI will analyze the situation. It will also mark the time and location of the accident. This could be helpful for later investigation. After collecting this information needed, users can use our digital reconciliation form for reconciliation. They could access to our database, which give a reference for the amount of compensation for that type of car damage, and this could ensure a compensation fee within a reasonable range. If that is not enough for negotiation, no worries. You can kindly refer the car owners to fix their car in the car repairing service under our recommendations. The repairing fee will be within the quotation. The quotation is trustworthy as Crash Mirror adopts several technologies here. They are blockchain, deep learning AI, and big data for prediction. Powered by Google and Deloitte, AI car damage recognition system enable instant analyze. This AI is trained to identify the kind of damage and predicts the potential damage internally. The accuracy is almost 90%. We are going to apply the algorithm shown above to improve the accuracy. Big data collected can further assist drivers in facing this kind of unexpected situation. Users can acquire information regarding the car repairing fee. Crash Mirror marks down the accidents in a systemic manner which enables smooth claim of car insurance and also a reasonable reconciliation. The application of blockchain provides an immutable record which increases the fidelity. The second phase of Crash Mirror will involve several parties. Crash Mirror links up with car insurance company in Hong Kong, which aims at streamlining the claiming process. Besides, Crash Mirror will generate reports to transportation departments for reference in the hope that we can improve the road safety situation in Hong Kong. We will also link up different car repairing service providers in case our clients need any service. The revenue model of Crash Mirror is shown below. For users, we will launch a free app with 2 payment plans. The first plan is an one-off payment, which user can access to the cost estimation for car repairing. The second one is an annual plan, which users can get unlimited access to our database. And the annual plan will also include 12 times of car washing and some parking discount around the malls in Hong Kong. For the cooperation, we will discuss with linked car repairing companies for commission for referral. And also, we will charge for service charge for instant claim in car insurance company. For organization, they can pay for accessing our database. Primarily, Crash Mirror cuts the time consumption, which we hope that can avoid some unexpected car jams and cut the time consumption after car accidents. And the database collected will also be applied for road safety study. If there is any trends of traffic accidents, we will inform the related departments for following up. In general, Crash Mirror is a channel for road safety for drivers, which can promote the road safety in a more feasible and specific group of road users. We would like to improve the general traffic situation through this app. And this is almost the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, then I left the time to the panel. Any question from you?
I have a quick question, this is Johnny. Very interesting project. I understood you are collaborating with a potential collaborator, including some insurance company. Could you elaborate a bit more about the car repairing companies like garage or some car dealers like Techathon or even Techathon? How is the business model regarding besides the insurance companies? I know that. How do you collaborate with this car repairing industry?
Yes, I believe your question is how can we cooperate or how can we link up with those car repairing companies? Actually, we in this stage or in our original idea, we plan to connect up with some insurance company or insurance firm first, and then our main focus is focusing on providing some recommendation or the cost. Actually, we hope we could collect a big database that can offer some recommendation, some costs to tell those driver if you face a car accident and then you take some pictures or use our car damage detection for scanning, and then you can get an estimate cost that you need to pay for those car repairmen. But in this stage, we are not planning to tell you you can go to which car repairman company. But yeah, in the future, it can be the whole one all-in-one app that can offer a more better experience for the drivers that you can or maybe use our app to make an appointment, but still you can have a choice to choose which car repairman company, or you may have a friendly company that always help you to repair your car, so you can do find them for you to do those. But we can provide additional information. Also, we can give you an estimate price, and also if the car repairman want to know more about your traffic accident, what happens, then you can provide more extra information for that.
Okay, hi, it's Cosby from DBS. Thanks for your presentation. I would like to ask what channel you are using to deploy these services, because a single app just for car accident and car repairing, how many users would it be? I mean, using your app, and then how do you grow actually?
Initially, we will like to launch an app to actually replace the agreement, that paper form agreement. I'm sure that every drivers will have some paper printed out, that agreement saving at their car. So initially, we would like to use our app to replace those procedure, and then and for the extent or phase 2, we would like to cooperate with those insurance company or some adjuster in Hong Kong to provide. Maybe we can provide a B2B service, but mainly focus, or in phase 1 or in early stage, we will mainly focusing on P2P. That means the driver to driver service using our app.
Hi, this is Spencer from Science Part. Thanks for your presentation, and your project is a good initiative to help the community to streamline the claiming process. So my question is, your blockchain involve different corporations and parties, and within these value chains, how could you bring every parties on your blockchain?
You mean how can we cooperate using the blockchain system?
Who will take the lead to deploy your project? Insurance company, government, or even Techathon? So which one would be the key player and leading the deployment of your blockchain?
Oh, actually, blockchain is I would say this trustless system. That means no one is leading, and we are just maintaining the whole system. But for the data recording or who is going to upload those data, of course, it will be those facing car accident drivers. And for the third party, that means maybe the Techathon or those insurance company, they will only be able to get into those blog to verify those data from the drivers if they are give them the permission to view it. So no one is leading or can control the blockchain.
Thank you
Yes,
for
thank you
yours
very
and
much.
thank you for the presentation. Okay, here comes to our next team. Our next team will be an interview from Quan Chi Kit. Interview from Quan Chi Kit. Interview, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen. Please wait for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you see my deck now?
Yeah, so please share with us. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, so hi ladies and gentlemen, we are interview. Before beginning, let me ask you a quick question. Do you ever know how much time it takes for a company to hire new employees? On average, a company screen out about 800 applicants and it takes 52 days to hire new employees. In fact, the first round of the screening itself costs only 70%, costs over 70% of hiring costs, but not comprehensive enough to look at the candidates by looking at their CV or their degrees, but not knowing how good is a candidate are. For startup, the lack of an HR expert and resources to hire the best employees. The quality is also poor when the HR team is flooded by the amount of applicants and low the quality of second-round interviewee. Well, come on guys, it's 2021 already. Why are we wasting so much resources when a machine can do a much better job and faster? Interview is an intelligent job platform matching the business for the hiring. With our fast and comprehensive AI screening technology, our system can analyze the interviewee in different perspectives and also reduce at least 20 working days of the screening time and lower the cost by 72%. How does it work? We improve the user journey. Traditionally, candidates apply for the job, pass through manual screening and the several rounds of the HR interview. In our solution, user first pass a standard knowledge test to filter out the unqualified and irrelevant applicants. Then they will go through an AI virtual interview. Third, the HR team will review and find the top of the candidates, and then they will go through background checking, and finally only the scheduled interview with the top interviewees. For the standard test, we will create a domain knowledge database. HR only need to select the domain they want to ask, such as the English, skills, and the team cooperation, etc. The system will auto-generate the MC papers and auto-grading for the result. Turns out that it will have a better talent utilization, screen out some board applicants. We don't need the extra cost to host a test, but we can show valuable result for HR as a reference. No dumb things such as hiring a programmer as an expert to hire another programmer for some small company. And also we can apply the big data analysis to find out the relationship from the grading to the salary. For the AI bot interview, we use the cloud recording to provide the no-man interview. Candidates can conduct at any time they want. AI chatbot will ask the candidate to record a 1-minute self-introduction and 3 to 4 random questions proposed by the employers. Finally, HR can review at any time they want to. Turns out that we can apply the voice to text detection and the NLP to extract the contents to assist the employee as to know what is the employee talking about. Also, we can apply the emotion analysis such as the pattern detection, and also the fluency and the grammar analysis. You may ask, hey, why AI interview? Because we are following the 7% rules from the research, which when human talking, they are containing only 7% of information, and over 93% they are non-verbal communication skills, such as their facial expression, their gesture, their eye movement, their speech delivery, which can convert into the confidence level, soft skills, and personality that the companies they want and to judge an interviewee. Okay, so for the stage 3, we're doing the auto background checking by the ID card number, their phone number, and their email. We can auto crawl the information from the internet to use the search engine to find the result. Also, we can check the previous interview record, the score as a reference. Turn out to save the time for HR to search for candidates and also do the social background checking, and also to hire employers that are not exposing too much information on the internet. And for the stage 4, we're providing a simplified online interview because we are knowing the scheduling is very difficult. Imagine when the HR, they're calling the candidates one by one and spending so much time on the scheduling. Why don't we using the online scheduling? And also, we're providing the one link, one click open online interview room, such as the Google Meet, and also the automatic SMS and email notification. Turns out that we can simplify the whole process and reduce the HR cost for the scheduling. We can provide them that some standard interview environment, some stable environment, and only any extra installation, such as the Zoom room. So imagine the first time you're using Zoom, you're installing some network problem, etc. There's such a disaster. And this is our market size. Each year, the HR technology spend around $400 on $400 on each employees, and the compound annual growing rate is around 14%. And over 17% of HR mentioned that they have a weak technology in the HR side. And this is our business model. We will handle the one-off payment and also the subscription model. For the staff, they can pay for the one-off payment for each round of the improvement. And for the enterprise, they can use the subscription model, and we can provide them the 24 hours for our technical support. And for some interviewee, we can partnership with the university and offer them the 1 month of trial of the Infinity training. And this is also our B2C solution. We are doing the interview coaching by providing the access for the people. They can have infinity chance for the standard knowledge test, and also to practice the AR interview and to get the instant report of analyze their performance. And this is our expected market size, growing from a small platform of 20 million to 28 billion, depending on the market research on the HR cost each year. And this is an opportunity because we are facing the COVID-19.
To the Q&A sections.
Okay.
Any question from the panels?
Hi, this is Alice. Thank you for your presentation. From my experience with doing interviews, there's a lot of assessment that goes to assessing the candidate's intellectual intelligence level, whether what they say makes sense, logical, packaged very well. So those kind of assessment, it is not very straightforward and it's not emotional assessment. How does your robot tackle that part?
For part you mentioned that how we know the knowledge of an employee. So we mentioned in the beginning part, we are first going through a standard knowledge test, which we can offer you a knowledge database to create different kind of questions. For example, you want to ask them whether they have enough language level, they have enough knowledge such as the programming skills or their knowledge in business science. Those are solid things that can be coding into a Q&A database, and then we can generate the paper. So when they attend the test, you can get the grade of the paper instantly after they're finishing the test. You know, oh, you get 80% of grade in the programming, you get like 60% of grade in the grammar. So you can at least know whether this candidate is good enough for your job vacancy, and then you can filter out all the people. They are too bad they cannot fulfill even our auto test. So you can only focusing on the group of people that can pass through the first and second test to save the overall HR cost.
Hi, it's Cosby from DBS. Thanks for your presentation. I think for the standard knowledge test, I think almost all big company would have kind of aptitude test kind of things and then knowledge test as well. So I'm not talking about that. I'm thinking about, I see some part you mentioned facial, you use AI to recognize the facial expression. Since when you are sitting one-on-one or with the candidate, then you can kind of use that. But how do you translate that facial expression when someone is interviewing to a virtual, just to a camera?
Okay, so at this stage, okay, so you must know that we are first doing the cloud recording. We are recording a clip from them and also asking them questions. So we have the clip as a reference. We will applying the AI part as an assistant to help the HR to analyze whether they have some such type of performance. So they can instantly get the number of the data, or whether they present maybe 60% of time they are panicking, or maybe overall they have fluent talking. So this is turned into number. But then when the HR team, they want to go deeper, they can just do the manual review. The point is that the platform can provide a chance that the HR no need to directly interview someone. They can just let they have a virtual interview with the bot, and then they can review it later. So they don't need to arrange any time slot for this phase. When the candidates can pass through the standard test, the airport interview, and then they can feel that, oh, we may find only top 5% of the candidate, and then they can arrange a real face-to-face interview. That's only the candidate you want to interview with. You are not wasting the time to interview with those trash, just spamming their CV to all the vacancies. That's not the candidate you want to face with.
Okay, so you mean just the AI help to do the first screening?
Yes, the AI help you to do the first screening on their domain knowledge and also on their overall self-introduction performance and their performance when they're answering the question that you propose. And then you can find out maybe top 5% of candidates to arrange the actual face-to-face interview. So we are helping you to screen out the useless candidates.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Hi, this is Spencer from Science Park. So I have a question. The first one would be, what is your product development progress currently? And the second one would be, how could your app to handle personal data?
Okay, so for the first part, you are mentioning how we develop the product. Okay, in now on from the second one, we are doing the overall user journey design, and we are trying to maybe contact with someone, ask them for the HR experience. We might try to hold some interview workshop in the university to gain the audience and also to know what they actually need. And then we will start to do the website development and also do the MVP prototype, and then we can try to launch the solution. And for the data handling part, we are really experienced team. We run over 10 hackathons last year to do the fast development and to handle the database or such thing like that. So for the personal data, we might using the cloud to store the whole data, and we might
Okay, time's up. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, we will move to the next team. So Mark Sharanio from AI Maker. Are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so please share your screen with us.
Can you see my
Yeah,
slide?
we can see your screen. Yeah, config, right? Okay, so present your idea to us. You have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. We are Team AI Maker presenting Comfy, increased wealth at your fingertips.
Meet Comfy, the new challenger robo-advisor in Hong Kong, built for today's generation. Comfy analyzes your email and social data to make meaningful investment advice. We do the research so you don't have to. Invest in green bonds, ETFs, money market funds, and more.
So we use supervised machine learning, which we will feed with training sets of our own email and social data in order to produce an output that would be the investment advice. And if the user does not consent, then we provide them with a curation of selected portfolios which they can filter according to investment requirement and yield growth. So basically, our idea is taking social media data and email data and turning it into useful investment advice. Because, let's admit it, millennials don't have a lot of time, and we value convenience, and we have already this information in other services, and we're trying to integrate it and make it more useful. So here's our financial model. Let's divide it into 2 parts. Number 1, how we plan to make money. So we're offering a unique dual pricing strategy. Customers pay either when they reach a certain threshold or when they make gains with a performance fee and hurdle rate. Also, for the beginning of our app launch, we will be having advertisements to support the app development. And here you can see in our financial projection that at the first year, if we do not receive funding for app development, we would be making a loss of 73,000 Hong Kong dollars. However, if we receive funding from, say, the government or HKSTP, then we would be making net gain of 17,000 US dollars. And then we're targeting for 3,000 users, which is 1/3 of the current combined users of our closest competitors, Crystal AI and Akumon in Hong Kong. I think that we can do better than them with more proactive advertising, targeting the youth directly, social media marketing, word of mouth. And we have no definite timeline right now, but we're aiming to launch between 2022 and 2025. We're looking forward to work with RegTech firms to simplify the process and reduce the time needed before entering the market. We can also seek investment from banks, as most of the players are looking to purchase fintech products and services from external parties instead of forming one on their own. So we have a 3-step approach. We take the data from the users, we analyze it, and then we design a portfolio, and then the user has the user has the freedom to decide whether to proceed with the transaction or not. The transaction will be handled by our third-party partners, and they will manage and own the product. We are the only ones who handle the user identity and the suggestion algorithms, and blockchain can be used for identification purposes. Those who opt in for data collection will receive personalized investment advice, while those who refuse to give us data will be shown our curated securities. So this is the app. We offer more products than competing robo-advisors and automated stockbrokers such as Akumon, Crystal, SoFi. We will work with Green Finance Association in Hong Kong and SFC to promote sustainable investment to young people in Hong Kong. Subject to regulatory approval, we plan to release a deposit product that yields higher interest rates than both traditional banks and fintech banks. We will start with Type 4 and Type 9 SFC licenses, and later on applying for banking license and Type 1 fintech license for our Deposit Plus product. So it's an innovative technology. Unlike other teams, there are no questions to fill in, no games. Just sign in with your social media account. We respect your privacy. Only the machine learning models will get access to your data and see what is relevant. There would be no human intervention. Our AI uses OCR to scan the text and images and keeps track of the brands you like and follow to give you a more accurate investment advice. So like we said, there are two competitors in Hong Kong, but they're not as smart as us. They have yet to convince a large population to invest. Comfy will ride on the wave and interest of new fintech banks in Hong Kong, and we will be targeting 1 million young customers. There's room for more competition. Our core team members come from 2 universities with major in financial services, fintech, industrial engineering with decision analytics. We're not a company like other teams, but we appreciate the opportunity to learn, compete, and present here today. For our social impact, we provide youth in Hong Kong easy to understand information so that they can invest fast. It does not matter how much you begin with, it's the investing journey that matters. With more youth giving up the portion of their savings for investments, we can stimulate the economy and recover faster together. So here's our target age group. It is expected there will be 1.8 million users of fintech solutions in Hong Kong by 2025. With robo-advisors in Hong Kong, we can increase our share in global robo-advisory industry, and Southeast Asia has a growing population that we hope to target in the future. Comfy can one of Hong Kong services experts region.
Now we will put to the Q&A sections. So any comments, questions from the panels?
Hi, thanks for your presentation. It's Cosby from DBS. I noticed that you said there's no question asked and only people just need to sign in for their social media and email. So are you screening their social media email to determine their risk appetite?
Yes, we're going to screen their emails and their social media actions, like, for example, the pages they follow, the brands they connect with, in order to determine their risk appetite. However, we are not the only ones making the decision. They can also choose to take on higher risk products. There's a toggle for that in our settings, and if the users want it, we give it to them.
Okay. Does it comply to the investment regulation?
Like I said earlier, we would be working with SFC, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, and RegTech firms to fast track our approval and see how we can make tweaks to our design. But we're willing to comply with the law, obviously.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Alice. Thank you for your presentation. Can I ask, how do you use the social media data to generate investment advisories, because there are very limited personal financial data on the social media platform? Assuming you can get through the regulatory requirements or the data privacy issue, but how do you relate social data to investment decision?
So here we see the slides of how we apply the AI, right? So maybe if the user has a receipt of donation to green NGOs, then we can, for example, recommend a green bond product, or maybe if they had Food Panda receipt from a sustainable or vegan restaurant, we can also offer this kind of product. This portion of our product is still in development, but in basic sense, this is what it is right now. And it's strictly opt-in. So the user has to give the permission first. If not, we have a curated selection of portfolios available for them to invest in. Like we said, we're planning to offer other products as well, such as, ETFs and stocks and funds, which are offered by some of our competitors already.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Jody. I have quick questions to you. Instead of pulling data from our social media or emails, are there any partners to facilitate your product development, let's say banks or financial institutions or brokers in that way?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are there any partners to facilitate your product development in the later stage?
Partners, right? As of now, this idea is just in the infant stage. We're really trying to look to develop this between 2022 and 2025.
Oh, okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, if there is no more questions from the panels, then thank you for Mark's presentations. And we will welcome our next team, well, which is Feel Easy from Matthew G. Are you with us, Matthew?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can
Perfect.
see. Please share your screen with us.
Yep, I've shared it just now.
Yeah, so you may now start. You have 5 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Delighted to be pitching to you today. My name is Matthew from Feel Easy. To start off, let me ask you all a simple question. When was the last time you filled a form? For me personally, it was just yesterday to help my family friend change her MPF account. I had to fill 5 forms and it took me around 30 minutes. Imagine how much time, effort, and energy we could save if a tool existed to automate the process. And this is the problem we aim to solve at Feel Easy. Forms are a chore that nobody enjoys doing. Just for financial services, we fill forms for banks, for insurance, for investments, for tax. And this only represents a small part of all the forms we fill daily. However, forms are a necessary part of business. Regulators and companies need accurate, up-to-date information to manage risk and provide business services. Yet, no easy solution exists to solve this issue. If I moved house tomorrow, I would have to search for every single company I had an account with, find their form, and fill them. This is why we at Feel Easy propose an AI-powered Find and Fill app to handle all form-related needs. We want to be a one-stop provider for all form needs and make the process more streamlined, efficient, and accurate. So how does it work? We have 2 key workflows. First is the Find and Fill process. Users can use an AI chatbot to discover their need. They can then search for the companies they are using, and Feel Easy will automatically find all the relevant forms for the need and fill them. Let's say I decide to move house tomorrow. I would chat to the Find Easy AI that I have changed my address, and then select the companies I use, such as the bank, insurance, credit card, and MPF trustee I use. Feel Easy will then find all the relevant forms, fill it in, and provide the finished form for me to sign and submit. It's that easy. Our second workflow is the Scan and Fill. Users can simply scan the form they need filled, and our proprietary AI will detect the need that needs to be filled, the areas that need to be filled, and fill them for you. For this, over the last 7 days, we have already built a working AI prototype that uses the latest computer visioning technologies. You only look once. The AI can already handle filling a phone number for a number of different forms and proves that the technology to do so is already here. So you may ask, how bad is the problem of form filling today? Currently, across all industries, a study from SalesSpsych has shown that form abandon rates stand at 76%. That means for 76% of all forms people start filling out, 76% of them are left unfinished. For financial services, the problem is even more striking. A study from Forrester shows that 97.5% of forms in financial services are abandoned. What this means in the case where consumers want to purchase a new product or service, want to update their information, or want to get in touch, 97.5% of them will give up if they encounter a form. For companies, especially those of SMEs, the problem exists as well. A joint survey from HKMA and HKICS found that the #1 difficulty for SMEs face in a bank account opening is fulfilling the bank's documentary requirements. So how do we plan to make money? Our main revenue stream is that of targeted advertising and product placement. Imagine a user comes to our website to fill health insurance forms for insurer A. What we can offer is an ad placement for a competing insurer, such as insurer B, interrupting a potential sale for insurer A. We believe that we estimate the value of this ad space as multiples higher of a traditional online ad space. We also would like to offer premium features, digital transformation, and also product placement. In terms of our 2-year plan, we plan to focus on the first 6 months on product development, launch our open beta in 2021 Q3, and fully launch by 2022 Q3. Our goal is to have 10,000 active users within the first 6 months of our beta launch and 100,000 active users within the first 2 years. So now for the most important part, the team. We are a group of passionate MS Masters of Fintech students with skills ranging from AI, accounting, finance, programming, and statistics. Our team includes members who have completed or are undergoing their exams for ACCA, CFA, HKI CPA, alongside SFC Type 1 and 4 licenses. Each member has also trained in AI from start to finish and is confident in working in the latest in AI technologies. We also have strong work experience that enable us to navigate the professional working world. Arnold, for example, is an Oxford graduate who has worked as a fintech developer in Bank of China, focusing on data workflow optimization. Andrew has worked in UBS and has recently completed an AI project titled Stock Signal Generation using 8.5 million news articles. Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to hearing your questions.
Okay, here is the Q&A sections.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. It's Cosby from DBS. I would like to ask, can you explain a little more how it works? Because there's a lot of online form, PDF, or kind of some PDF even is not fillable. You need to train it and write it. So how does it work?
That's a very, very good question. For how it works, mainly for our first workflow, which is the find and fill, what we plan to have is a cloud-based database of all forms. So we aggregate all forms to a central place. So for example, we will borrow find forms from DBS, find forms from, for example, UBS, for all the banks insurers, aggregate to one place. And we will tag these forms for the areas that need to be filled. And our AI, after finding the correct forms, will help them customers fill them. For the second type is where we plan to develop an AI using computer visioning, so users can simply scan their form into our app and it will fill them for you.
How many forms you need to study before the machine can recognize the form? I mean, in terms of the field, because where you put your name, where you put your address, I think you need to train the model, right?
Definitely. So for currently, what we can currently handle is simple forms. So we used around 200 to 300 different form samples, but we estimate that in the future, we will require a lot more data. We estimate perhaps at least 10,000 to 20,000 different types of forms to train the AI properly. But we believe that we can get this data as we grow our business, because for the first key part of the business, the key value we offer, which is finding the form, we will aggregate the forms first. So we will search through the internet to find all the different types of form to create a database for us to work with in the future to further develop our AI.
A quick question, this is Rami for SciencePark. Are you turning some paper forms into digital forms with pre-filled functions like predictions, AI, that kind of things? Are you focusing on paper form rather than digital form, if I understood correctly?
Correct. The main pain point we're trying to solve is paper forms, because right now, currently in the industry, many companies still require hand-signed paper form copies. But we do understand the future that it's likely that there will be a push to digitalization. But as it stands right now, a major pain point is the amount of paperwork that needs to be done, the paper forms.
So if you're targeting paper forms, what you mean is that once you help the customer fill it, you expect them to also print it out themselves to sign it and submit it?
Correct. Because for our counterparties, many of them still required paper signed copies of the form before it can be to fulfill their compliance requirements.
I see. A lot of the forms, like just using the bank's example, a lot of the forms are hosted in a secured post login database. So how do you plan to grab those forms?
That's a very good question. Currently, for most of the forms that I've done for market research, it's handled usually in the public domain. So for example, a change of personal particular form, a common form that people use to change their address for many different organizations. Most of them are posted on the public website for the insurers, for the banks, for the MPF trustees. And these forms are one of the most commonly used forms and publicly accessible, but no centralized place exists for all of these forms, and no centralized solution exists to help people fill these forms.
Thank you.
Any question from the panels?
Matthew, I'm Spencer. So as I know, for example, a lot of forms from our document, let's say I change my address in the TD department, so I have to fill the form and mail the form to the TD. So what is the difference between using your technology, your app, and TD launched their digital form, and I fill the digital form myself? What is the difference between two cases?
So are you asking, for example, if I use Google Autofill or Adobe Autofill instead of our app? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I would say one of the key value we add is the find function. So we're not simply just an auto form filler. What we offer, or one of the key values we offer, is a centralized place to fill the forms. So for example, in your case, if you use Google Autofill and I change my address, yes, Google Autofill can help you fill all the forms, but then I will still have to go to every single individual website, find every single individual form, aggregate it myself, and then fill it myself. So the process of finding these forms is also extremely time consuming. What we offer is, or what the user experience we hope to offer is that when people come to our website or use our mobile app Feel Easy, all the forms are in one place. So that means you don't have to search for each form. And we'll also tell you which is the right form to fill for each of your use needs using our proprietary AI.
Okay, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer and the sharing on Feel Easy. And we will now proceed to the next team from Michael. Michael Platters for team growth.
Yes, hello.
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 I can see your screen. So
Perfect.
if you're ready, share your idea with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you guys for doing this entire week. It's been very fun. So I'm here presenting on behalf of Team Growth, where we aim to inspire young investors and make investments easier. And 7 days ago when we were brainstorming, we got this idea because we were all in some sort of finance class, and we had to come up with a stock portfolio. And all of us were enjoying the class and want to learn more. And none of us really had good stock picks to start building our portfolio. So we felt the need personally to create growthstocks.info. So growthstocks.info provides free tools to start growth investing. We have artificial intelligence tools that will help find growth stocks for you. And we aim to match new investors with the fastest growing companies in the fastest growing industries. So the problem here is the millennials know and they understand the importance of growing wealth over time. And we also understand industry trends before the market does. Us millennials were the first ones to log into Facebook. We were the first ones to understand electric vehicles as the standard. But the thing that millennials don't know is the first thing about investing and how to get started. So we have a 5 seconds or less mindset. We don't have the patience to read books or time to monitor the markets, and pretty much don't have even the willingness to lose any money. So we need a straightforward approach to learning about the stock market and how to beat broader stock market returns time over time. So the solution we came up with was a straightforward one, which would be free to use, fun to use, easy to understand, and constantly provides value continually. So growthstocks.info provides the tools that will educate and engage the next generation of stock market investors. And all of these free tools are available after the investor sets up and completes their risk profile survey. Sounds familiar, right? So here are the 3 free tools that we have right now. We have the Growth Stocks Masterclass, which is $5 for life, and you get 25 emails over the course of a month. And then our 2 free options are a Growth Stock Scanner and a Portfolio Optimizer, where investors enter their own positions, and we give them a couple more recommendations to add to their portfolio.
So let me ask you.
The go-to-market strategy here is to meet the investor where they're at. So that's online communities, whether that be finance Twitter or different communities on Reddit, which have over 5 million investors. We actually engaged in some of these already this week, and we've gotten over 25 signups. So that's encouraging to see. As you can see, the market share here, we're going to be starting in Hong Kong. But as that progresses, we'll start talking with affiliate marketing and big financial firms, whether it be brokerage accounts, financial planners, life insurance companies. Since these are young, engaged financial users in our target demographic are just starting their financial journey, we will make the most money cross-selling them to financial services that they'll need for their lifetime. And that market itself is growing as so far financial services are 30% of affiliate marketing spend. So the implementation, as I said, is we've got the website up, we've got our survey up, and we have some of our tools ready. We gather the user information to share with affiliate marketing and make sure that they are following an action plan and setting up their financial future. We have the educational service, but really where we make the most money is the affiliate marketing fees when we set up our users with the financial services that they'll need. And also the data that we collect will be able to be used for reports on investment sentiment and trends. So the validation really came after we developed our site this week and we did a media launch. We have one free tool up there where you can put in a certain stock indication, and based on past performance, we will tell you whether or not it's bearish or bullish. So with all of these tools, we aim to hopefully create a community around growth stocks and growth investing so that young investors, new investors, or investors trying to mix up their portfolio will have a place on the internet to make sure that they are getting educated and getting free value.
Okay, time is up. Let's go to the Q&A sections.
Thank you.
Any questions from panels?
This is Alice. Do you mainly focusing on analyzing the growth trend of the stock to make recommendations?
So yeah, we're gonna have a group of companies, and we define growth as revenues growing over 15% year over year. And that's pretty much classifies the stock as a growth stock for us. From that point on, it's really just a tool to engage and enlighten users to come to our platform, fill out a risk profile, and start their action plan on trying to beat the market. So again, it's just a free tool for people to follow in terms of starting out their investment strategy.
Can I have a follow-up question? So,
of course,
purely on growth trend, it's a pretty speculative and simplistic way of recommendation. Like normally we look at a lot of other factors like the economics, like the industry, the companies, financials, etc., etc. So your company's proposition is it's quite speculative. And how do you protect investors from other factors that will affect the stock price?
So that's a great question, and we are an educational platform, so it is expecting investors to do their own research as well. But you are correct in terms of the speculative nature of figuring out total addressable market, especially with technological stocks. They fluctuate, they have high betas, so there will be a lot of risk inherently in picking growth stocks. But we are trying to find the cream of the crop in terms of companies that actually have revenues that are growing year over year, because over the long term trend, stock price is closely correlated to revenue.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a quick question. This is Johnny from Sunspot. Actually, you are competing with over thousands of competitors in the market. I noticed you mentioned cryptocurrency or crypto assets are one of the portfolios. Can you elaborate a bit more about the companies?
So yeah, that would be a great question. So in terms of setting up a risk profile, and we are not proprietarily trading, we are setting up and giving recommendations to new investors. And that's just your everyday retail investor. So our plan is to intrigue and convert those investors into customers for financial legacy firms, whether that be brokers, insurance companies. If their risk profile indicates they are interested in cryptocurrency, although that is, again, very speculative in itself as an asset class. But we would then cross-sell those services to our users and hopefully get, again, finder's fees such as, per lead, per sign up, the affiliate marketing dollars.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Cosby from DBS. So does it mean that you are kind of an aggregator of all the investment products? So when the customer after finishing, the customer can pick any kind of product, and then you bring them to the respective company to buy.
Yeah, that's a great way to think of it. Like I said, we'll be after the survey is completed, we understand where they're at in their journey of financial services in their lifetime, and then we will tailor make an action plan for them, in which then companies can then compete for advertising space within that action plan, as well as, again, aggregating the best deals is not for us, but for the companies to spend money to get their name within that action plan. And we understand that there's 18,000 financial blogs on the internet right now. So we're not aiming to be the end all be all educational platform. We just want to be free tools that entice users to come to the website, convert into creating a profile, getting an action plan, and hopefully signing up with a financial service, whatever that may be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation from Michael. And we will now welcome our next team, which is Co-Wise from Jiang Huixiang. Co-Wise, are you with us? Okay. I see you are in. I see you are in. Okay. This is our second call out for Co-Wise. Co-Wise, are you with us? And this is the third time. If you doesn't answer, then we regard you as withdrawal. Okay, sorry for you. And then for the next team is Tidy Genie. Tidy Genie, are you with us?
Yes, we are here. So let me
Okay.
share my screen.
Thank you. Yeah, we see your screen.
Okay. So wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay,
Are you
so
ready?
yes.
Okay, you may now start.
Hello, we are an entrepreneurial team from CTU. Our innovative project, Genie, is an AI-driven robot for automatic, item-oriented tidy up and hygiene. We found that the fast-paced city life is depriving people of energy to tackle household chores. Manpower shortage in the housekeeping industry has long existed, and under pandemic, it's improper to disinfect different items in the same way. According to Pinpoint, we came up with Tidy Genie, which features multi-method disinfection, intelligent tidy up, automatic control, and a companion app. Supported by infrared camera systems, it can perceive the environment and construct 3D maps. Tidy Genie applies UV or liquid disinfection under different scenarios. With a flexible robotic arm, it can lift, rotate, and grasp objects in all degrees. Tidy Genie, along with other IoT devices, can be integrated into the smart home system. Based on machine learning and computer vision, the robot can recognize objects and textures. Massive datasets are utilized for regression training to achieve high accuracy in real-time detection through frame-based feature extraction and matching. Tidy Genie performs instant decision-making.
Tidy Genie can make 3 types of decisions. It will automatically decide how to place objects and can learn further to improve accuracy in daily use. By identifying the object material, it will also choose the best sterilization method. You don't need to worry about being disturbed, as it will interact with human motion sensors through IoT and design a reasonable work schedule.
After making decisions, it will enter our intelligent sterilization system. We have 4 disinfection methods with 4 different materials. This system is equipped with not only 3 common chemical disinfectants sprayed by multiple nozzles, but also a UV sterilizer, which is non-toxic, environmentally friendly, and efficient. Object detection and automation sterilization require a self-navigation system to fully cover required areas and automatically return to charge. We use infrared depth camera and TOF sensing scheme to obtain the depth data as reference input, while real-time localization and 3D map construction is performed by a SLAM system. An MCU will process the data together with sensors in feedback loop. It can analyze the optimal route, thus fully avoid obstacles during navigation.
Tidy Genie can be integrated with over 30,000 devices via Wi-Fi and Zigbee protocol. Based on their features, we provide full transmission mode and energy-saving mode for different needs. Here is an example of an automatic sterilization workflow.
Besides, we support an app for remote monitor and control. The user interface contains modules such as trajectory, checkpoints, and emergency stop. Meanwhile, users don't need to worry about privacy and security issues. We will take strong end-to-end encryption, authentication, and our hardware design will also adopt cryptographic architecture. Apart from features design, we have conducted a lot of market research to build business model. In competitor analysis, our main advantage is that the combination of multiple item-oriented sanitization methods, which is the first innovative design in global market. We will also optimize the battery life and reduce the cost to establish an optimal cost performance.
The global home robotics market will grow rapidly from $1.2 billion in 2016 to $6 billion in 2024, with a CAGR of 15.26%. Moreover, Asia Pacific is the world's leading and the fastest growing region in terms of both demand and supply. Our target markets include households, hotels, offices, and schools. They are currently relying on manual labor as the solution for sterilization. In the future, we plan to spread our products to more public areas.
In early stages, we adopt B2C business model, targeting individual customers for online retailing. For sustainable profitability, we will transition to a mixed B2C and B2B mode. We will cooperate with manufacturers for mass production. We are committed to expanding our customer base by providing customized services, establishing membership schemes, and promoting on multiple platforms. A mixed AR/VR platform will be launched to provide users with an intuitive trial experience.
With completed ideas and design, we are now solving the model training and will make the first version of prototype by October. After passing the test, we will start mass production in May next year. We believe that with our joint efforts of 3 members from different academic backgrounds, Tidy Genie will be applied in urban life and become a smart companion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentations, and we are now open to the Q&A sections.
Hi, this is Johnny from Sunstart. I have a quick questions to you. Home robot is actually a burgeoning business in particularly China. Most likely they are targeting for chatbot, surveillance, security, elderly, and childcare. But just simply a buying robot in my home for disinfection, talking about UV light and disinfection spray. Is it a convincing buying behavior for equip that home robot, or rather you would like to expand your project into, let's say, hotel or shopping malls? Do you think about this possible or rather choice for your business development?
Yes, so in our first stage, we are currently plan to target our target markets in the household area, because in the first stage we are doing the self-production, and we adopt B2C business model, and in the future we will apply to wider usage scenarios, like, because our first generation prototype mainly supports household usage, but in future we plan to expand this product to hotel, schools, and office, and to provide a more affordable and efficient solution for public hygiene. So our target is actually the public, general public, instead of just a household group. Yes.
Okay, hi, Cosby from DBS. Very interesting robot. I would like to ask whether you are using existing kind of robot model or you need to build from scratch. If build from scratch, how much R&D you need to spend for your first prototype?
So thank you for your question. So we start the idea from the early stage of the pandemic. So we gather team members and start to do the research. So far we have finished the creative idea and prototype design. And we also finished the simulation of self-navigation and obstacle avoidance tests. And we are now collecting data sets for further machine learning and expect to complete this phase of training in May this year. And cause we pay a lot of attention in our algorithm developing, and that's also our key technology and also our pinpoints. So we need more time on R&D stage, of course, and also more cost on that.
I would like to add a point that for the hardware part, we may buy some existing hardware like the chip, and also for the self-navigation hardwares in our product, and to integrate them. But for the software part, we may train our own data set or train our own machine learning model, and to gain a more accurate model for our customers. Thank you.
So this is Spencer. Thanks for your presentation. I have a follow-up question. So what would be your proprietary technology that make your team or home robot different from others?
For this robot, so first of all, our most innovative design is the multiple sterilization methods together with intelligent tele app. Most of the existing robots focus on cleaning and disinfection as a main function, but and apply only single cleaning or disinfection method sometimes in the market. Also, there are a little bit housekeeping robot projects focused on practical function of tidy up and organization. But our this Tidy Genie has the obvious advantage of capability under multiple scenarios. And at the same time, with its affordable price and good performance and efficient learning and computing capabilities.
Okay, thank you. So
Yeah, and we also, sorry. We also have some, I want to add some points. We also have some design differentiation in the market. Like we have appearance design, algorithm design, and industrial design, and hardware design, UX UI design. Like we have an app, and also we have an online platform of web AR, VR, which let users to experience the product before they buy. So for the appearance of the robot, we are improving continuously to make it look more reliable, lightweight, and give people a sense of safety and comfort and cleanliness. And for the algorithm design, okay.
So I have one more question for you. So in the current, in the existing market, there are a lot of home who would like to provide disinfection solutions to the public. So, but all these companies face a challenge is that the disinfections effect is difficult to measure. So how could your team and your home robot tackle this problem?
I think this is a key feature of our project because we have a function of material detection. Because actually, with the development of living standards, people in the family begin to choose different types of disinfectants. But actually, sometimes based on different materials of the items, the disinfection method is quite different in terms of the disinfection efficiency. So we will have some database to target the solution for or best efficiency for certain kinds of materials. And also in our robots, we also have a physical sterilization method like the UV sterilizer. And actually this is kind of very non-toxic and efficiency disinfection method. But in the current markets, there are a few robots has applied this kind of disinfection method in home hygiene and most likely in industrial field. So that's the main innovative design in our product. That is a multiple disinfection method fit for different materials.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tiny Genie, for presentation on home robots. And then, wow, it has been almost 2 hours and a half that we are nearly come to the end. We have 3 seats left. And guess who will be with us in this final 3 place? And we would like to welcome Fincash. Fincash from Gary. Are you here with us? Gary, I think there is some technical issue with your audio. I cannot hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So are you ready for the presentations?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you may now start.
Okay, hello everyone. Now I am going to present our team's product, Fincash. Before introducing our product, I like to walk you through our team. So our team consists of 7 students who are all from great universities in Hong Kong. I am Gary, and I'm the team leader and presenter for Fincash. So before introducing our product, I'd like to walk you through some of the current pain points in the market. Firstly, the banking services are very poorly developed in developing countries, especially their ATM coverage. So shown on the table below, developing countries like Malaysia and India almost have the same banked population as a highly developed country like Japan, but their ATM coverage is very poor in comparison. And this means that a person might need to travel hours just to make a simple deposit or a withdrawal action. And this level of inconvenience might even discourage some individuals from using any banking services. And secondly, although a lot of developing have a very strong digital infrastructure, their economy is still highly cash oriented. So according to the statistics about our Asian market, almost 80% of the transactions here are done by cash, despite having some very highly digitized countries like China. And this means that the vast majority of the population, they do own a smartphone and they do have the tools to use digital payment services, but simply lacks the incentive to do so. And with these two problems in mind, I introduce you to our solution, FinCash. So what is FinCash? FinCash is a digital wallet that provides a convenient cash withdrawal service that can be done anywhere and anytime. And that was made possible by our local store network. The main idea of our product is that there might not be any ATMs in close proximity, but there's gotta be many random stores close by. And if we can make use of that, it'll be very convenient for anyone to get a withdrawal. Okay, so this is basically how it works. Every registered user will get a FinCash wallet, and when they're in need of cash, simply inputs the amount needed, and FinCash will show the available partner stores nearby. And after the user selects the store and initiates the transaction, FinCash will also send a notification to the selected store. And if both parties confirm, the users can travel to the store and show them a QR code to prove their identity. If everything matches, the user can then collect the cash from the store owner, who will get the same amount of digital money transferred from the user account. And that's how one transaction works. And now I'll spend some time talking about the technologies we use. So as far as we know, some regions may be relatively unsafe. So for example, it would be very dangerous for merchants to store large amounts of cash in a region with very high crime rate. To tackle this problem, we'll use the concept of clustering in machine learning to group the risk rating of merchants into different categories and give each category an upper limit of the amount of cash that can be stored. And blockchain technology is also incorporated into our wallet. We use the blockchain system that have 3 nodes: the bank, the merchant, and the user. And all transaction record will be saved in the block. And the blockchain technology ensures that the transactions are very transparent and trustworthy. For security, mobile security key and biometric authentication are implemented. It is an extremely safe way to protect your account without sacrificing too much convenience. So let's talk about our revenue stream and where do our profit actually come from. Our main revenue stream is from the premium schemes that we offer to both users and store partners. These are the users who want to upgrade their FinCash account and unlock more features. So for our clients, the premium account allows them to make unlimited number of cash withdrawal requests. And what's more, they can even enjoy discounts on popular items in the partner stores that they withdraw their money from. And our local store partners can also upgrade to enjoy advanced function. For example, premium partners can upload their self-designed profile to increase publicity, and users can learn more about their store easily. And moreover, the go and collect function is only available for premium partners. When the users confirm a withdrawal, they will be directed to a product list of the store where they can buy what they want with their FinCash digital wallet. And then they can collect them along with their cash when they make the withdrawal. And let's talk about our future opportunities. Our product have very huge development potential. So first of all, as users get more and more used to digital payment services, they will most likely to want to hold digital assets. And at that time, we will focus on the so-called two-way transaction, which users can easily turn that digital asset into cash and vice versa. And secondly, our valuable network we build between local stores and ordinary household will be a very good base to build an online shopping system. We can elevate our go and grab service and provide our own delivery system. With these two main development paths in mind, I believe we can raise the awareness of digital payment and online shopping services and allow a much seamless transaction from a cash-based economy to a digital economy that all countries are working towards to get. And
okay, Gary, time's up. Okay, here come to the Q&A sections.
I would like to welcome my colleague.
Can I ask you what is your competitor landscape in the markets that you?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What is your competitor analysis? Who are your competitors?
Our competitive analysis. So FinCash. So we basically map our competitors with two coordinates. So the convenience and the available cash withdrawal options. So as I said, the developing countries are still very cash reliant. So it'll be very hard for them to accept like a totally digital payment system. So and that's why we stand out from other payment methods. So obviously bank ATMs, some of them are very scarce in the developing countries. And the more conventional payment apps, they don't really offer cash withdrawal. So the user, once they start to use our service, they cannot convert their money back to cash.
Okay, and something to add to is like to be more specific, what we're targeting is actually like a gap between the fact that many people are starting to using digital payment and the fact that actually the infrastructure is like not catching up, because like for example in many shops they still rely on cash. So even though many people are, for example, in some developing countries like Indonesia, many people are using digital payments, but still they have to use cash sometimes because some stores just simply don't accept them. So this is kind of a problem for them. So actually by targeting, so actually we are a digital wallet, but actually we focus more on like the cash withdrawal function
yeah.
and probably deposit in the future. So this actually differentiates us from other like digital wallets and simple digital wallets, and this makes us like unique and avoid the competitions.
Hi, Cosby from DBS. Yep. Thanks for your presentation. Your focus on cash is a little bit strange for me because since in developing country everyone have mobile phone, your app is also on mobile phone. It should be, I mean, digital payment should be more ready for than cash. So I'm really thinking about what is your selling point in that country, because even developing country now they're using mobile phone to transfer funds. What's your competitive edge? What are the people there in the developing country using cash for? How much do they withdraw every month? Do you know?
We cannot hear you. Can you speak louder?
Now?
Data about the cash withdrawal of the specific developing country you would like to serve.
So from our research, the Asia market, so they rely 80% on cash, despite having some very digitized nation like China. So that means the vast majority of the countries in Asia, they're still very cash oriented. So and that's why we think it'll be very hard for these countries, for the people in the countries to suddenly accept a completely digital payment environment. And that's why we want to provide this kind of a bridge to bridge between a cash-based economy and the digital economy. And that's why we're so focused on cash.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, this is Johnny. I totally agree with other panelists' advices and judgment, because in the developing countries in Asia, I suppose the mobile phone penetration rate is even higher in Hong Kong. And could you give me a one phases or two phases to summarize what is your edge, why you can sell to those countries, particularly you mentioned Malaysia, Philippines.
I'm so sorry. I think there's some problem with the audio. Hello?
Hi,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you repeat your question? Very sorry. I think there's some problem with our audio.
Yeah, because you are targeting some developing countries in Asia, can you summarize in a single phrases about what is your primary edge to get this done, to convince the customers in Malaysia in acquiring your products?
We'll mainly be targeting Malaysia and India. So these are the population that have a very high percentage of people that have a bank account, but there are very little ATMs for them to withdraw money. So it's actually very inconvenient for the banked population. So we are providing this service to alleviate this kind of problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Fintech.
Okay, thank you.
And okay, here comes to our second last team for the presentations. Okay, Guess who with us? Mumu from David Decker. David, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, everybody. Give me a moment to share my screen.
Okay.
And I think here we go. Can you see my screen and hear me?
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, excellent. Right. It's been a long day. I think we need a beer. Thank you for having us here. My name is David. I am from HKU. I'm doing an MBA there, and my teammate is Meenakshi. I have a background in the alcobev industry, and Meenakshi has a background in finance, fintech, and AI. So we're going to present Mumu to you. Mumu is Hong Kong's first and only only platform catering to all your party needs. Our objective is to build a comprehensive party platform that connects users with local entertainment enablers. To try to understand this problem faced by our users better, we have some personas for you. This is Ken. Ken is a party lover. He loves organizing parties. He just finds it difficult to organize them. Why? Because typically for a party, he has to go down the street, buy the alcohol, pick it up, get it to his house. If he has to organize a bigger party, he likes to call a chef, maybe a bartender. He has to call up agencies, get referrals from people. It's a long process, and he finds it very hectic. On the other side of the town, there's Ron. Ron is a party room owner. He owns many party rooms, but most of his party rooms lie vacant during the day. And he wants to find a solution that can optimize the space that he has. We also have Tony. Tony works 30 hours a week, and this was before COVID. I mean, right now it's very bad for him, but he wants to supplement his income by doing private gigs and maybe earning some money on the side. We also have Katie. Katie is a liquor store owner in Central. She owns exotic alcohol, and most of her consumers are expats, but they live very far away. They come once a week to pick things up from her store, and she would like to expand her repertoire of consumers throughout Hong Kong. So at Mumu, we try to connect the Kens, the Rons, the Tonys, and the Katies to each other. And how we're going to do this is through a personal party planning assistant, where you can finalize your event within minutes. With a few clicks, you can have drinks delivered at your door, and there'll be easy filters that will help you organize your hosting needs. The platform aims to be intuitive, flexible, and scalable. Here's a snapshot of the platform itself. So some of the service providers that we plan to onboard into our platform are bar staff, wait staff, DJs, MCs, and some of the product providers are retail stores who sell alcohol and liquor companies themselves. What we'll do is we'll help train them about the platform itself. We'll do photo shoots for them. We'll do video content for them as well. And for the retail stores and liquor companies, we'll add category-wise listing and advertising. We'll enable advertising on our platform for them to promote their products. And Mumu will then connect them with end consumers. Typically, end consumers would use this facility in corporate parties or in personal parties as well. We have proprietary technology that can be protected by IP. We plan to have persona-based recommendation engine, which will take in data or information about the user in the beginning, and then create certain kinds of or curate certain kinds of events for them, depending on the season. We would also have real-time rating and service pricing. We also plan to have easy KYC and onboarding through image processing, especially with 5G now, everything will be really fast. We also like to, I mean, the market is really big. Just the platform markets in Hong Kong itself is worth $500 million US, and it's growing at 20% year on year. The alcoholic beverages market itself is also growing at 21% year on year. And that market is $2 billion worth. An interesting thing to note is that 71%, so online sales is growing at 71%, which means people are not only drinking more, but they're also drinking at home. Hong Kong has the second highest number of paying mobile app users as a percentage of the entire population in the world, and has an average revenue per user of $277 US. On the service provider side as well, Hong Kong has over 1,000 DJs, 5,000 plus bartenders, and 25,000 wait staff from our initial estimates. So Hong Kong is a great test market for us if you want to plan to launch, because our platform can be global and it can encompass a $150 billion market as well. So we have a prototype, and I'm going to use this prototype sort of like take you through a user journey, a typical user journey. So this is going to be the launch page or the home page. You have plan a party, get a suggestion, and buy alcohol. Get a suggestion uses seasonal trends or theme packages to sort of suggest to you certain things that you can immediately leverage, like Halloween parties, things like those. And buy alcohol means you can immediately order alcohol. We're going to try to go through plan a party right now, where it uses filters to plan a party specifically for your needs. So we click plan a party. You can click the date and the time that you wish to have the party at, the location as well, and then the size of the event. And basis these filters, you will be provided with a curated list of bars and places that that achieve these filter requests. You can also book your own private venue, of course, but in our case, we're going to click on bar 66. And over there, you can see star ratings and things like those as well.
Hi, David. Time is up. We need to go to the
Sure.
Q&A sections.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Any question from the panel?
Hi, this is Johnny. A very interesting project. I suppose there are many party animals out there, in, not limited in Hong Kong, but also in the Asian countries. What is your how do you safeguard your product being from copied from other peers having similar ideas, because you are going just an app, a platform to connecting service and product partners in a single situation. How do you protect yourselves?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So, so I think first of all, our project is something that is not existing anywhere. I used to work in the liquor industry, and I've worked with many startups as well to try to connect providers of alcohol with consumers itself. We didn't find anybody who is actually doing something like this.
Please.
Hi, David.
Is our problem or third party?
Hi, David. Are you with us?
Can other people hear?
Hi, David. I think we have some technical problem with Fintech. Sorry, Momo. Sorry, Momo. And then we will handle with the temp offline. But without further ado, well, let's welcome our last team for the presentations, which is Capital. Capital, you ready? We would like to hear your presentations.
Yes, we're here. Can you hear me? Testing?
Yes. Can you share the screen with us?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. We can see your screen now.
Okay, so just a second.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
So
Okay,
if
yeah.
you're ready, then you may now start your presentation. You have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, we're Capitec. We're aiming to become the first and the only crowdfunding platform in Hong Kong that is utilizing the latest technology of blockchain, where entrepreneurs and startups can raise funds from investors through a carefully designed solution. So before introducing to you a revolutionary innovative ideas, we'd like to address a little bit on some marketing trends. The global startup market size had a staggering growth of 353.1% from 2013 to 2018. In 2019 alone, $12 billion were raised solely from venture capitalists in the US. And even in Hong Kong, despite being a smaller market. Lately, the startup market also had a tremendous increase of more than 40% within 3 years. So, under the current startup mania, it's not difficult to see that startup funds would be in serious demand. Startups like us all require funds to operate. But to be honest, not all of us could secure sufficient funding from investors. So lately, equity crowdfunding has become a new trend for different startups to raise their fund. let's move a little bit closer to examine the crowdfunding market. We would see that the market size of crowdfunding is expected to grow with an incredible rate of 300% by 2026. And this shows that a crowdfunding product would be having a large potential market size. But in fact, security problems and complicated processing procedures are keeping investors away from existing solutions. Well, Capitec's solution is simple but powerful. We integrated blockchain technology and equity crowdfunding and came up with the solution of security tokens. In Hong Kong, security tokens are acknowledged by SFC as real equities in digital form. And this not only resolves the security problems, but transactions on blockchains also lowers payment processing fees and simplifies the process. So here is the first design and prototype of our project. So as you could see, this is the user interface with different options on our nav bars. And here we will show different campaigns raised by the startups. So let us delve into how our platform actually works. Very simple. A startup could launch a campaign on an application with a target amount of funds. If the target is met, the campaign could receive the raised fund, and the security tokens in the form of cryptocurrencies would be issued to investors through our platform. So, about our competitors, are we the first company who's executing such an idea and building such a platform? Probably, yes. We already have successful crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and also equity crowdfunding platforms like CircleUp are actually growing. On top of that, there are blockchain crowdfunding platforms like Starbase existing, but failing to solve the fundamental problems of equity crowdfunding. Coming up with our solution of security tokens, we believe that we could be on a level that is above them all. We're planning to expand our business by adopting a few stages of marketing strategies. First, it's lead generation. We'd like to raise the awareness of new audiences through online marketing such as IG pages, Facebook pages, and Google Ads to gain attention. And besides, we'll attend different startup events and conferences to reach startups who will be our potential customers. And of course, our marketing plan tends to educate our target audience by various approaches, ranging from LinkedIn webinar to email marketing campaign. However, we believe that's not enough, as we'd also like to collaborate with innovation startup institutions such as HKSTP or even different entrepreneur centers from the local Hong Kong universities in order to popularize our service. So if you're interested in knowing more about our service and our project, please feel free to directly contact us right after the event. We're Capitec. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for Capitec. And here comes to the Q&A sections. Any questions from the panel?
Hi, this is Alice. Can I just ask, so you are essentially a crowdfunding platform.
Yes.
Why does blockchain or crypto come into play? Why are you not using just cash money transactions?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. Yes, actually, as you could see that there are so many different types of equity crowdfunding platforms like CircleUp or Wavefund existing using the traditional approach. And our approach on blockchain is based on the advantages of blockchain. For example, as many of us might know, that blockchain is a high security ledger system. So all the transaction is actually transparent. And at the same time, the traditional approach requires a relatively high payment processing fee. For example, as we know that in one of our competitors in Hong Kong, the the payment processing fee is up to 5% of per transaction, because there are some they need to set up an escrow account, for example, in order to maintain the third-party position of the platform. So blockchain itself can actually act as a third-party platform. So it could lower our service charge and shorten and simplify the whole process of crowdfunding. Can I answer your question?
Just to clarify, so when you say you're equity crowdfunding, you're actually buying the equity or the stake of the startup companies.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Hi, it's Cosby from DBS. So since you are really pretty new platform comparing to other platforms now, so how do you build trust to those startups who would like to crowdfund here and your investor would choose your platform?
Okay, so that's a very good question, because actually our idea is in the infant stage. So we are still building our product, but we're planning to first approach some of the startups, perhaps, which also participate in this competition of Techathon. And at the first stages, perhaps we'll provide some incentives for them to use. For example, like in usual situations, perhaps we'll have a relatively low service charge that is a part of our revenue model. But at first, perhaps we'll just waive this service charge, so the startups itself will not suffer any loss, and the investors, we like them to know that this is actually very safe to use, because we're actually building the platform on top of Ethereum blockchain, and that is very secured. So we'll try to educate our audience, and in this case, we'll try to build a rapport and a trust between the investors and also the startups, and of course between us. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, this is Spencer. So thanks for your presentation. Blockchain technology is a good technology, but I'm curious is that whether it is useful to apply this technology to a crowdfunding platform. Of course, blockchain has its own value, but if you run a crowdfunding platform, for me, one of the important issues is that how could you bring in a quality crowdfunding project on board on your platform to kick off the chicken and egg situation? So how could you tackle this problem?
So of course, as a platform that is in some sense an intermediary of like startups and investors, we'd like to ensure the quality of startups. So perhaps when we're first deploying this platform to the public, we'll try to attract the more quality startups. So in this case, we believe that. Sorry, can you clarify your question more?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I rephrase my question.
Okay.
So you would like to about your crowdfunding platform. The first thing would be bring in crowdfunding project on your platform, right, to attract investors. So what is the channel that you could source those projects and bring them on board?
You mean bringing the new startups to our platform?
The startup project in this stage on your platform.
So according to what we've mentioned before, actually we'd like to look for some collaboration opportunities from different universities, and we'd like to start from a small niche instead of like we welcome all startups. And perhaps if we start deploying this project, we'll try to collaborate with the university, like maybe CUHK Pi Center or HKU iDendron or even HKSTP or the Cyberport. So there are actually so many institutions in Hong Kong, and that is supporting the Hong Kong local startup events. So I believe that this could be a good way for us to start. And we believe that quality startups would choose us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have the last questions, even though the time is up, are LinkedIn question. Because you mentioned you are going to revolutionize the blockchain, which is really interesting. And you know, the crypto assets regarding cryptocurrencies and crypto assets, there are for the security things in kind of blockchain. There are quite many solutions available out there talking about split the key or keyless or that kind of things. Could you give me any the blockchain applications on the crowdfunding? What is the most sexiest part or the most beautiful part in your project or R&D regarding blockchain applications?
You mean the development part?
Yeah.
Or you mean the most difficult part? Because I'm sorry that it's not very clear. I'm not sure if it's the audio problem.
The technical part, applying blockchain into the crowdfunding.
So what is the most difficult part, or?
I mean the most beauteous or the most sexiest part your team to deliver.
I think it's like a blockchain is a perfect third-party agent for us, especially in crowdfunding platform. That is a platform that requires trust between the investors and also the startups, because actually, to be honest, none of us know whether a platform could be a scam. It's possible. I mean, literally, it's possible. So if we apply the blockchain technology, for instance, in our case, we're applying the Ethereum blockchain on our platform and in our application. So I think the most beautiful idea right here is that we're giving the third-party authority to the blockchain, and actually, blockchain is a very secured third-party agent, and in this case, I think this is the most beautiful part in our platform, and that is why we're utilizing this blockchain in our project. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
so thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Well, we will then resume the Q&A sections of Moomoo.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Really sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go back to where we were.
Okay. Well, we will resume the Q&A sections of yours, and any questions from, is it?
Yes, I suppose I asked the question because of the difficult problem. I asked, we have many party animals out there. How do you protect yourself from being copied in the region?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. But I think what I mentioned earlier was about how our recommendation engine is going to be critical to our application itself. I think we would be using qualitative and quantitative things in our recommendation engine in the algorithm that we'll be making. I have an experience from the algorithm industry as well, and Meenakshi has experience in the fintech industry as well. So we will be leveraging that, and we'll also be leveraging the networks that I have with the bartenders and take inputs from them to understand how they'd also work. So I think our recommendation engine is going to be a critical aspect of it. Also, our matching system would also be a critical aspect of it. But again, this is a new idea. It's bound to sort of be replicated once it does come out. Netflix also uses recommendation engines for their app as well. But yeah, everybody else now does it as well. So, but that's how we initially plan to differentiate ourselves, though.
So, any others questions from panels?
Hi, can I ask how do you differentiate yourself from the event planner who provide more bespoke and end-to-end service?
Absolutely. I think the event planners today are not very intuitive. Like, I think the persona that I try to showcase to you about was there are multiple event planners out there. There's so many agencies that it's very hard to keep track of them. If you even Google an event planner right now, you'll find multiple search results. But I think the important thing to realize is that we need to like try to organize this market into an app, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to remove the human interaction bit, and we're going to try to make everything on the app itself. So if you want to organize a party or a wedding event or a cocktail party for yourself, all you have to do is just go on the app and follow the filters, and the app would recommend or curate the party itself for you. And it would take away the human element of it from the entire thing. So in a way, it's a lot faster and a lot more intuitive, and obviously a lot cheaper.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So there's no more questions from the panel. So
Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the technical issues. Really apologize.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for your presentations. And all the shortlisted team are presented. It is quite an enjoyable morning to us. I think the panel members are very delighted with your presentations. All of you have did a great job. So are you hungry for the result? Join us at 2:30 in the afternoon to conclude all your hard work this week. And our judge will share the feedbacks to you, and there will be our presentation also. So I'm sure you definitely will have fun and insight learned from the closing ceremony. So see you later at 2:30.